we're here at the 2016 Milwaukee Muskie Expo. I'm here with Steve Hrivnik of A&E Myers Line. Now, Steve, one of the things that you stress in every Saturday night pre-week meeting is about preparedness to come up and see you folks. Now, let's be honest, a lot of times people are probably up there saying, oh, I shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. So while we're here, before people come up, what are some things that you would recommend people focus on either bringing or thinking about or mindset, whatnot? Tell me about that.
Well, you know, it's real frustrating when you get everything prepared and try and give everybody the best services,
right,
the best accommodations, the best fishing, everything that we do so well, and they're paying big money for it, and they come up and they're not prepared, and they're spending all that money almost needlessly.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of things that a person can do to get ready to come up. I'm going to tell you one thing that I see a lot that really bothers me during the course of the day. We can have any kind of weather.
Right.
People are paying good money for a guided trip and come up here, and they come up with a glad bag for a rain gear. I would go, first of all, I would spend more money on the best rain gear that I could buy than a new rod or reel.
Right, because if you're up there and you're not comfortable, you're not fishing as well, you're not having as much fun.
If you have the right gear, I don't care what the weather is, you grin and laugh at it, and that's some of the best big fish weather.
Right.
You know, if you don't have what you need, you're crying.
And what you're saying is the best fish weather is not always the best layout in the boat, enjoy the weather.
Exactly. You know, people are coming up spending upwards of $2,000 for a guided weekly trip.
Right.
And, you know, it doesn't take much to think ahead, and in the winter, have your reels redone, or you're spending that kind of money on you. Get yourself a new reel if yours isn't proper. Have it spooled with good line. Another thing that I really hate is here I pull up to a big fish spot. I'm trying to make this guy's dreams come true, and he pulls the bait out of the box that's never been sharpened, starts sharpening it then, I'm going to catch the fish for him?
Right.
No. You know, I mean, I'm halfway through the spot before he's ready to fish. All this should be done beforehand. Preparedness.
Right.
You know, check all your equipment. Make sure you have good rain gear. You know, make sure you have sunglasses. Make sure you got a good hat. You know, think about those little things that really, a lot of people that haven't taken a trip for a while, you know, they take for granted, and those are very, very important things.
It's not just jumping in the boat and the fish are going to jump in with you.
Well, you know, it's being able to spend your time properly on the water makes a big difference on how well a guide can do his job, and or you do what you want to do best if you're not being guided.
Okay.
It's very, very important.
Now, one more thing that people should think about when they're not, a lot of this stuff is when they're with you. I mean, obviously it applies to by themselves, but what are some things that guys come back at the end of the day and you wish you told them, you should have done this, you should have done that before going out?
Well, I'm going to tell you, when it comes to muskies anyway, you know, I hear guides come back, well, we should have had this, we should have caught this one. You know, the guy screwed it up. Nobody screwed it up, okay? It's the guide's job, first of all, to make his guests be properly prepared. And when it comes to muskies, there's nothing more important than a few things like making sure that your rod is pointed at the bait at all times, not up at right angles so you got no place to go to set the hook, because invariably, big fish like this, they almost always come at you. You have to be able to catch up to them. Figure eights. Proper figure eights are more than just doing a figure eight. It's so important to do the whole boat side maneuver, being able to read the fish and how to react to it, and that's what you should be practicing every single cast, so that you don't have to think about it when it happens. Those things make huge differences. Then going back to making sure your hooks are razor sharp before you get to the spot, you know, stuff like that. You know, those are some things that are really important.
Okay, one last thing. One last thing that you would give, one more thing we haven't covered that you would give to every guest before they even leave the house. Rain gear, check your gear, check your line, check your reel. What else? One more thing. You got one more.
Go to church.
All right. Hey, Steve, it was good seeing you today. Thanks a lot. Some good stuff.
All right.